Oh, Ollie B. Oh, Ollie B. Oh. Oh, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. Oh. Ollie B. Ollie B.
Oh my.
No.
Oh my goodness,
Oh,
Ross.
No. This is my sweet puppy dog, Ollie.
Ollie. Hi, Ollie.
He's a big source of joy for me.
The joy factor. So I take it that's right. We're continuing with joy this week.
Yeah, I took your advice last week.
Oh, that's great. Well, let's get started on that and welcome everybody. Now that Ross and Ollie have introduced us to our topic this week, we're Ross and Sally, your counselors at SPSCC, here to do part 2 of joy. So you took my advice.
Yeah. So one of the things I took is being, intentional about, creating time, even if it's just a little bit of time for joy every day.
Yes, I think that is so important. I'm so glad, and I bet Ollie is glad that you've done that as well. It's one of the things I think is so important, Ross, especially for students who must be so busy with classes, with figuring out how to homeschool their kids, feeling the stress maybe of unemployment, just be the stress of being at home all the time, whatever might be going on for them. And I think we can lose track of creating time and being very intentional about doing things that bring us energy and that are joyful, delightful, fun as an important part of our mental health. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
So I hope students are getting that message and out there doing that. And it doesn't have to be a lot of time. It can be 5-10 minutes, half an hour, if you can spare that in a day of, whatever that might be, to really think about what brings joy. Is it telling jokes, time with pets, playing old-fashioned board games, dancing, singing, whatever that might be.
Yeah, I love that idea of being proactive rather than passive.
Yeah.
Around protecting that.
The other thing that I've been thinking about that occurred to me too this week is the idea of paying attention for spontaneous moments of joy that just come upon us. I was in my backyard the other day and a big bald eagle came through lower than usual. And so I got this great view of this eagle and to just really soak in that spontaneous pleasure and joy and this beauty. I think that's really important too, is can we just kind of open up our lens a little bit? Because we tend as humans to focus on, protecting against threat. We're kind of built that way to worry about things. And so I think kind of opening our lens a little bit. Can I also pay attention to pleasure, joy, things that are good?
I like that, like allowing your mind to notice the eagle and take a moment to appreciate it, even if you're caught in the midst of worries just a moment before.
Yeah. I know too that I have to watch that as well. And I think we were talking about this a little earlier as well, as like, what's the difference between doing things that are joyful and delightful? And then when does it become kind of compulsive and not so healthy a thing? When does it become escape?
Yeah, that seems like an important distinction and sometimes confusing. One of the ways I talk with students about this is when things start to become compulsive, you can tell because when you're denied the opportunity to do it, for whatever reason, you just don't want to do it anymore because it's not wise, you need to get back to work or whatever that is, people usually feel pretty upset inside, feel anxious, feel tense, feel like kind of dysphoric, like in a bad mood. Sometimes when I was growing up, this was referred to as like jonesing, like jonesing for fix of this thing. Could be sweet foods or could be alcohol, could be media time, like time on social media or gaming or things like that. But if you're noticing that you start feeling really bad, not just disappointed, but bad in that way, that's a sign usually that there's something to attend to that you're trying to get away from through participating in this activity. And usually it's a good time, frankly, to think about coming to therapy and carving out that space to wonder about what's going on for me that I want to escape.
Maybe get some support around that, and support, it sounds like, to figure out like what is intentional joy to help my mental health, and what is something that maybe is a compulsion and I'm actually using it as an escape to avoid some bad feelings.
Yeah,
if I'm watching too much Netflix, or in my case, if I ate the whole chocolate bar instead of just part of the chocolate bar or something like that. Yeah,
that's the distinction.
Yeah.
And just as a reminder to students, we are open and available to you. We are doing Zoom appointments. So if you want to schedule, you can just email counseling@spscc.edu, or we're available for walk-in appointments via Zoom. You can go on the counseling service website and learn about, find the Zoom login. We're available Tuesday and Wednesday mornings from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Yep, we're here for you.
All right. Thanks so much, Sally.
Yeah, this has been great. Thanks, Ross. See everybody later. Bye.